All right, welcome back. Hope everyone's having a lovely day, a lovely night wherever you're from. And real quick, before we get started, as always, I want to give a lovely shout out to the channel members on this channel. So thank you so much to these lovely commanders here that you see on screen. Thank you guys so much for your guys' constant generosity and support to me as always. It really means a lot to me, so thank you guys so much. If you guys are actually interested in becoming a lovely commander yourself, if you are interested in any of these cute and lovely emotes, the loyalty crown badges, if you want a special role in the Discord, make sure to join the Discord. But as always, if you choose to do so, thank you so much. Just remember, that's not the only way that you can support me. Just watching the content like you are right now is truly the best way. Liking, subscribing, and commenting, everything really does help. So thank you guys so much. And for today's video, before we begin, I want to give a massive shout out to Xzen808/WizGreat from the Discord for letting me pilot your account and trusting me. It really means a lot for this testing video. So thank you so much. I've had a few other people DM me about letting me use their accounts, and I just want to say thank you so much for giving me that offer. I really do appreciate it, so thank you guys. And when it comes to today's video, it's interesting right now because the way I do these testing videos is also a part of my Should You Pull series. I like to talk about the income and timing of everything, and also talking about your account, and then also talking about the waifu aspect, which is always subjective, but I love to talk about it. So when it comes to actually pulling for this character right now, we're at a really weird time right now because we still barely came off of our anniversary just 2 banners ago. So right now, a lot of people are still saving. And with the announcement of Stellar Blade's collab getting a live stream, confirmation on the way, June 11th is confirmed to be the start of it, which is great. But a lot of people are just going to be saving for that right now, honestly. Unless this is like a #1 waifu for you, it's kind of hard to try to justify pulling for her right now because she is just bait at the end of the day. But also, she is another electric type. And this is what I mean by talking about account-based. If you already have a well-built account, you don't care about solo raid, and you already have a bunch of electrics you are happy with, then you don't really have to pull for this character right now. You can just add her to the wish list and then pull later. Because right now, there's more than enough electric that you probably have well built, and if you don't play solo raid, she's definitely not needed by any means. And when it comes to pulling for her right now, there are a few caveats with her skills that I'll be talking about in a little bit that kind of make me a little worried, but hopefully they're just translation errors. But when we're talking about Kay as like a waifu aspect, I really love her a lot. She ticks a lot of boxes for me, and I'm gonna be 100% honest. I really like her character design. They did such a great job with it, and I'm really loving the story. The story has been so good so far. Obviously no spoilers because it's already wrapped up right now until hard mode comes out, but really solid right now. Really enjoying it. I like her hair, the fluffiness of her hair. I love her attitude. It's so good. Her unique weapons are just great to me. The insane thigh line right there, by the way, like, it is so good. The half legging, half like normal looks so good. The blacks, the yellows, they all look really good with her, matching her eye color, this reddish orange hue. With the sharp teeth, by the way, which for me, that's a really great thing for me. I like sharp teeth on a character. And for a lot of people who really like this character, it took 2.5 years for her to come out. So I know for some people who are strictly pulling for the waifu aspect, they don't care. They're just happy that this character is finally out. And honestly, I think they did a pretty good job with her in general. I like the amount of like JPS that they actually added with her. You know, she does have a little bit going on. And I'm gonna be honest, dude. I could see a good like skin future for her. It looks really good, man. They did a great job. Her thighs are crazy, bro. She could crush my head with that. I'm just saying. Looks really good. I really like it. She has some insane thighs, dude. So, solid job overall. Overall, with her design and how she looks and stuff, I really like her character. Her chibi's also really cute. I really do appreciate the chibis in this game. They're pretty underrated, so can't wait to see them be used more in surface content. But when we're talking about Kay, when it's time to talk about her skills, it's a little bit interesting. So, when it comes to the type of kit that she has, we always talk about her OL gear. What are you looking for? Honestly, with her, you want at least 80% elemental lines. Unfortunately, we only got 1 elemental line here, but just for reference, stuff like max ammo, you want to make sure you don't have max ammo for her. That's some lines that you really don't want with her, because you'll end up bricking your K because of the way her skills work. But I feel like the normal elemental attack crit in this case might actually benefit her a lot more than usual, so go for that, but just make sure you avoid max ammo. In our case, when we're talking about the skills, something that I really want to talk about when we're talking about her skill 1 that I find really interesting, that there are a few caveats with that I'm a little worried about, and that's why I haven't invested yet personally, is that this part right here activates when pellets land critical hit 4 times and affects the target. This activates with just her SMG as well. it's not just when the pellets land when she goes in shotgun form. Now remember, when she bursts, her weapon becomes a shotgun, which most of the time references pellets for the shotguns. Nothing else really gets referenced with pellets other than the shotguns in this game. However, in this case, this damage right here is being dealt even with the SMG. So that's something that I want to point out, that it might just be a translation error, because on all of the kits, they do say pellets, even if it's the JP or the KR. There's not like a loss in translation between them. So I don't know what's going on with that. If it's a bug, hopefully it's not, because that's going to lose a good bit of damage for her. But one thing that I do want to point out is this stacks for her tilted scale critical rate. This activates when it fires the last bullet, but if you're rotating between bursts pretty fast and you actually burst with her before she loses that last bullet, she might not end up getting, you know, some of these stacks. So just be aware of that you might have to pause between, or you can actually probably use her as an off burst as well. I've seen a lot of people utilize her that way. Now, in this case, I just want to show her in an actual team being, you know, used for bursting. So I'm not going to be showing off bursting. And the reason why I mentioned the no max ammo for OL gear is because also with her skill 2 right here, reduces max ammo capacity but increases attack damage. Max ammo goes down, similar effects cannot be stacked, and attack damage goes up. So just, you know, be aware of that. That also would help not having to worry about triggering this last bullet, because the more ammo she has, the more it's going to take longer for her to trigger that last bullet. So just be aware. Now, when it comes to team compositions that I was really thinking about for using her, the one thing that I do want to point out is the maids is an obvious choice here. And not only are they meta right now, but more importantly, maid mass will definitely benefit Kay in this case. Probably because of her drunken stacks right here. The critical rate goes up when she is in her drunken stacks, and her burst also offers crit damage, which will really help Kay in this case. Now, some people might not want to use the maids just for Kay, which, you know, it makes sense. Some people might want to because they love Kay, which is perfectly fine. So I also wanted to do an offshoot with Leona to take advantage of all her skills with crit and her pellets, and then also use Privity Maid to lower max ammo some more, and just make a fun team trying to use Privity Maid. But I want to do comparisons between Privity Maid and Summer Anise compared to Kay, and just for reference, just as a heads up, that this Kay only has one elemental line, their Privity Maid does not have any elemental lines, and their Summer Anise has 4 elemental lines, and they're all really well built in comparison to this Kay. So now let's go talk about some testing results. So the first team I decided to utilize was using Volume, the maids, and having Summer Anise as another burst 3 comparison. Now Volume here, we're using her skill 2 and her skill 3 to get that crit rate and crit damage. For skill 1, you really don't need to worry about at all. It's not really that good. So in this case, their volume is 177. CDR will help in this case, but also kind of be a stress factor for that skill 1 for Kay. Maid Mass, like I said, we're trying to utilize her crit rate and crit damage. Summer Anise is just going to be used as a comparison here. And as you can see, Summer Anise is just a powerhouse, especially for elemental damage, doing 2.4 billion. Now, obviously, there are drastic different numbers here because the Summer Anise is just really well built with more elemental lines doing more damage. But I still find it impressive because their K is nowhere near as built as their Summer Anise, and they are like halfway there. So I just found it interesting. So she's still doing solid numbers, but right now she's just coming at a bad time, especially with the collab on the way, barely coming off of the anniversary still. It's a rough time for her. I did want to do another testing instead using Summer Anise, using Privity Maid. Now remember, she doesn't have any elemental lines, so just factor that in when it comes to the damage differences. But right here you can see that K with just one elemental line is obviously doing way more, but the investment difference is crazy. Their Privity Maid is way more invested, especially in the combat power. So I just find it kind of crazy that maybe if that Privity Maid was able to get at least one elemental line, they'd be on par. So some solid stuff here, but unless you're really caring about solar rate, especially electric, you might not even care about this. And then I decided to do one more wacky one for testing comparisons right here using Leona, Privity Maid, and Privity to lower max ammo. And as you can see, there is a difference here. Privity Maid is just slightly doing more, but still, that slightly more is crazy because you see the comparisons between investment. So I see some promising stuff with K. However, the timing and everything is just really rough right now, and it's just not worth it for a lot of people. People might want to put their resources more into the collab units, seeing how they work out. A lot of people are hoping they are meta units, so just keep that in mind. With all that being said, that is enough yapping from me. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on everything going on right now. Are you enjoying K? Are you enjoying the baseball skins? Let me know what your guys' thoughts are, especially on K. Are you looking forward to that live stream for Stellar Blade? Let me know. But that is going to be enough yapping. Once again, thank you so much, Wiz. Appreciate you. That is going to be it for me. Hope you guys have a lovely day, lovely night wherever you're from. And as always, thank you so much for the constant support. Take care and have a good one.